Mara Vance punched the reroute command. Alarms blared as power flooded from the dead habitation rings into sealed drone bay capacitors. She watched the meters climb, 80%, 90. The station's spine groaned under the strain. Thermal bleed minimal, Sable reported through her console. The AI's voice stayed flat, efficient. Masking active. Enemy signatures inbound, Vector 047, Keth Varun's fleet, 3 cruisers, 8 corvettes, ETA 40 minutes. Mara nodded, fingers flying across the holographic panel. She isolated the flow, bleeding off excess heat into void radiators disguised as hull cracks. The enemy would see a dying station, not a charged trap. Her goal, full capacitors without a signature spike. Conflict hit when a capacitor whined, overheat risk. She vented a micropulse, stabilizing it, green across the board. Copy that, Sable, Mara said. Prioritize drone bays 1 through 6. Logistics mode only until my go. Commander Elia's Rook burst into the engineering core. His uniform hung loose from weeks of rationing. Status, Vance. Power secured, she replied. Bays at 95%, we look like a ghost Hulk. Rook glanced at the main holoscreen. Red blips closed fast. Varun's reading decay as weakness, good. Transmit distress beacon, public channel, make it desperate. Mara keyed the order, Sable complied instantly. A wailing signal burst out, station horizon failing. Hab rings offline, crew minimal, request aid. She layered in fake static, erratic power flickers. The enemy would bite. Sable fabricate parts, Mara added. Silent run, swarm munitions, capacitor relays, queue for Parks Bays. Acknowledged, Sable said. Fabricators hummed below decks, churning ugly prototypes from scrap, human ingenuity at work. Rook gripped the console edge. They commit for capture before our reinforcements. Your numbers hold. Always, Mara said. She trusted her engineering like he trusted her word. No speeches, just data. Lieutenant Juno Park's voice crackled over comms. Engineering, drone ops. Launch cycles green, drilling now. Mara patched in. Park's feed showed bays alive with motion. Drones, boxy, modular haulers by design cycled through tubes. Park locked out non-essential crew with a retinal scan. Her team, down to 6, ran manual overrides. Push it, Park, Mara ordered. Triple cycles, ugly prototypes first. Park's face filled the split screen, sweat beading under her helmet light. On it, these bricks fly like bricks, but they'll hit. Drones ejected in sim mode, curving back to bays. Park tweaked vectors mid-cycle, her hands a blur. Goal, swarm readiness under pressure. Conflict, prototype instability, 2 clipped rails. She recalibrated on the fly, Sable feeding real-time sensor tweaks. Outcome, 90% launch efficiency. Admiral Keth Varun's bridge thrummed with disciplined chatter. His Kragath fleet sliced through the void, scanners painting horizon as a prize. Decay confirmed, his sensor chief reported. Habitation rings cold, power intermittent, minimal life signs. Varun's mandibles clicked approval. Humans crumbled under blockade, starvation decay. His disciplined aggressors would seize it fast before their scattershot reinforcements arrived. Boarding parties prep, corvettes flank for breach, capture intact. Scans deepened. Hull breaches, flickering lights, perfect weakness. Mara watched the enemy advance through Sable's feeds. Her viewport showed the cruisers looming, corvettes peeling off. They're buying it, she murmured. Rook stood beside her. Beacon pulled them in, your trap. Set, Mara synced with Sable. The AI ran drones as logistics mules first, weapons second. Adaptive code rewrote tactics from sensor truth. No waste, Park's voice cut in. Bays locked and loaded, swarms primed, your word, Vance. Varun's lead corvette nudged closer. Grapples extended. Borders away, his chief announced. Resistance minimal. Then Horizon's broken lights blinked, not random flicker, precise pattern, short, long, short, naval code for asterisk arm, Varun's bridge froze. What? Mara hit execute, capacitors dumped power. Drone bays irised open. Swarms erupted, thousands of modular bricks, reconfiguring mid-void. Logistics haulers sprouted missile pods, railguns, Sable's algorithms shifted, hunters now. Enemy corvettes shredded first. Drones latched, burrowed, detonated from inside. Grapples snapped. Alarms wailed on Varun's feed. Mara saw it all through hacked enemy telemetry, Sable's gift. Flankers gone, Rook said, fist clenched. Varun barked orders. Evasive, concentrate fire. His cruisers pivoted, plasma lances sweeping. But humans played dirty. Drones adapted, Sable predicted vectors, swarms split and reformed. One corvette vented atmosphere, drones pouring in like ants. Park whooped over comms. Ugly prototypes punching above weight, reloading. Mara fine-tuned power flows. Hab rings, dead, no more, fed endless surges. Enemy scans lied, underestimated maintenance, human style. Varun's mandibles ground. Humans fought with tools as weapons. Disciplined engineering outpaced his aggression. Pull back, regroup. Too late. Main cruiser buckled under drone waves. Sable's real-time rewrites turned logistics into hell. A final swarm breached Varun's bridge shields. Mara leaned back as explosions lit the void. Trap sprung. Rook exhaled. Numbers held, Sable chimed. Fleet neutralized, reinforcements inbound, station secure. Park patched in, grinning. Next time make 'em prettier. Mara smiled faintly. Crisis ticket closed. Routine repairs, battlefield leverage. Humans built to last, but Sable's sensors pinged, a faint signal from the debris. Varun's escape pod. Mara zoomed in. No. A Kragath distress beacon. Their turn to beg. She keyed the log, maintenance complete. Lieutenant Juno Park slammed the bay doors shut. Fresh drones slotted in hot from fab. Cycle 12 green, she called. Myra's prototypes hummed, ugly but lethal. Sable overlaid tactics. Enemy remnants probing, adjust for micro-jumps. Park nodded, hands dancing. Her goal, endless swarms, conflict, capacitor drain. She rerouted from Mara's banks. Outcome, full bays, enemy probes vaporized. Varun's fleet myth shattered by human grind. Mara watched from core. Collaboration 1. Engineering command AI, underdogs bit hardest. The pod signal strengthened. Incoming query, surrender terms, Rook laughed. Send the code back. Horizon's lights blinked again. Engage, swarm away. Mara Vance twisted the final valve shut. Coolant hissed through the repurposed loop, flash chilling the drone railgun barrel to launch-ready temps. She stepped back as Frost spiderwebbed the metal. Cycle test, she called to the empty bay. Gauges spiked green. No cracks, perfect. Lieutenant Juno Park burst through the hatch, arms loaded with payload pods. Mara, bays at 80%, need those chill lines yesterday. Online now, Mara replied. She keyed her wrist console. Rails hummed alive. Feed 'em in, mixed loads, half seekers, half rams. Park slotted the first pod. Drones clattered into position, tagging with single-purpose scripts. Ugly birds, but they'll fly. Her fingers flew over the loader. One drone permission, scout strike jam, no waste. Myra nodded. Goal, arm the station without tipping power draw. Conflict, enemy scouts inbound, 2 hours out. She patched Sable through the bay speakers. AI, status on decoys? Sable's voice cut crisp, no personality fluff. Seeding error logs now, power fluctuations faked across hull sensors. Life support failing, comma rays down. Visible decay sold. Mara pulled up the overlay. Red blips littered every subsystem feed. Any scan would scream abandonment. Good, make it sloppy. Humans don't polish ghosts. Park sealed the last pod. Bays full. Capacitors at limit. Alarms pinged. Drain conflict. Myra rerouted from non-essentials. Pods locked. Swarms primed. Commander Rook's face flickered on Myra's console. Vance, enemy fleet signature confirmed. Kragath heavy cruiser lead, Admiral Varun commanding. They're buying the decay narrative, pushing for fast seas. Mara scanned the plot. 12 ships, tight formation, no hesitation. Our bait working, authorize the hull leak. Rook's eyes narrowed. Controlled breach, Section 7, bait boarding vectors to empty corridors. Drones hold fire till my mark. Affirm. Mara triggered the valves, hull plating groaned. Atmosphere vented in a precise plume straight toward Varun's approach vector. Sensors painted it as catastrophic decay. Inviting. Park grinned, strapping into her launch chair. They're gonna love the welcome mat. Mara moved to core engineering. Consoles glowed under her hands. She cross-checked rails, chill lines stable at -50. Drones tagged and stacked. Sable's decoys pulsed realistic glitches, hull leak drawing borders like flies. Enemy signatures sharpened. Varun's fleet micro-jumped closer. Mara tapped Sable. Intercepts. Varun's bridge chatter, station derelict, minimal resistance projected, commit borders for capture before human reinforcements. Disciplined, no overcommit yet. Mara's lips twitched. Kragath prided ship-to-ship lances, clean kills at range, humans we grind. Rook their vectoring shuttles, breach in 60. Copy, Park launch decoy drones, light show only. Park's voice crackled. Fox 1 through 10 away. Tiny flares erupted from the station, mimicking panic defense. Enemy lances vaporized them. Arrogance confirmed. Mara felt the deck shudder. First boarders hit the leak zone. Empty corridors waited, rigged with microdrones. Sable whispered, boarders in, 12 squads armed for station pacification. Spring it, Rook ordered over comms. Park whooped. Rails hot, chill lines fired. Drones rocketed out at Mach speeds, payloads live. Mara watched the plot explode. Seeker drones jammed Kragath sensors. Rams punched cruiser shields. Logistics swarms, Sable's specialty, latched onto shuttles, rewriting mid-flight to burrow and detonate. Varun's voice broke through hacked channels. Mara caught it raw, Sable translating the guttural Kragath bursts. What sorcery? Station was dead. Not dead, patched. Mara leaned into her console. Sable rewrite tactics, prioritize their command ship. Affirm, drones adapting. Logistics mode to breach protocols. Swarms shifted. Drones that hauled cargo now hauled plasma charges. AI truth from sensors, enemy weak points exposed, Park patched in. Bays cycling, prototype uglies outperforming, enemy shuttles gone, corridors clear. Deck rattled harder. Boarders triggered the traps. Microdrones swarmed the corridors, single-purpose killers turning infantry into chum. Kragath screams echoed faintly through vents. Rook's comm cut through. Vance power margins. Holding, chill lines at 90 efficiency. Mara tweaked a loop. Frost held, Varun's fleet fractured. Cruiser lead buckled under drone waves. Lances fired wild, blinded by jammers. Mara zoomed the feed. Kragath ships excelled at precision barrages until humans turned quantity into quality. Pull back, regroup, Varun barked over open comms. Too late, main cruiser shields failed. Sable's real-time rewrites turned logistics drones into boarding rams. A final swarm breached the bridge. Mara leaned back as explosions lit the void. Trap sprung. Rook exhaled over comms. Numbers held, Sable chimed. Fleet neutralized. Reinforcements inbound, station secure. Park patched in, grinning on the split screen. Next time make 'em prettier. Mara smiled faintly. Crisis ticket closed, but Sable's sensors pinged. A faint signal from the debris. Mara zoomed in, not Varun's escape pod. A Kragath distress beacon, stronger now. Their empire calling for aid. Incoming query blinked, surrender terms, Rook laughed. Send the code back, let them stew. Horizon Station's lights blinked in sequence. Engage, swarm away. Park slammed bay doors. Fresh drones slotted, hot from fab. Cycle 13 green. Mara watched the new plot. Kragath remnants probed, micro-jumps testing defenses. She rerouted capacitors from chill lines. Full bays, enemy probes vaporized. Varun's fleet myth shattered. The distress signal strengthened. Mara keyed her log, maintenance complete, but Sable interrupted. New contacts, Kragath battle group responding to beacon, ETA 30 minutes, larger than Varun's. Mara stood, no time for rest. Repurpose the debris field. Seed it with decoy logs, Sable hummed. Already simulating station-wide failure cascade, they'll see a dying husk again. Rook's voice steadied. Vance, same play, hull leak variant. Double it, bait to drone kill zones. Mara moved to the coolant panels, fingers flew. Loops converted faster this time, chill lines for heavier rails, Park loaded mixed payloads. Tags updated, anti-capital seekers priority. Enemy battle group closed, admirals intercept. Varun's trap confirmed, no decay persists, full commit. Mara smirked. They weaponized the patch notes. Deck thrummed, rails chilled, drones tagged, leak vented, shuttles inbound, swarms launched. Sable rewrote, logistics to Hellbringers. Kragath lances flashed, superior at range, but humans swarmed closer. Explosions chained, battle group buckled. Mara monitored. Collaboration held, her engineering Rook's tactics, Sable's adapts, Park's grind, distress beacons multiplied. Kragath begged now, but Sable pinged again, deeper signal, not distress, probe, something bigger stirred. Mara zoomed. Kragath core fleet signature. Underdogs bit hardest, but this, Empire's hammer. Rook, she said, scale up all loops to rails. Affirm, his trust in her numbers absolute, Park cheered. Uglies ready, Sable, decoys live, decay narrative reloaded. They didn't patch the station, they weaponized it. Enemy hammer dropped, swarms rose to meet it. Lieutenant Juno Park wiped grease from her hands. Bay doors sealed on cycle 20. Drones hummed uglier, meaner. Mara's chill lines overclocked. Probes vaporized, battle group remnants fleeing. Mara's voice from core, good work, reroute power. Park danced fingers over loaders. Tags flashed, burrow, overload, rewrite. Sable overlaid, micro-jumps countered, swarms endless. Enemy chatter spiked. Kragath bled through. How? Humans maintain through this. Park grinned, human grind, core fleet loomed. Mara converted every spare loop. Station became rail fortress. Rook coordinated. Hold vectors, let them board. Leak vented triple. Boarders poured in empty traps reloaded. Drones swarmed. Kragath infantry shredded. Fleet command shattered. Sable's logistics breached dreadnoughts. Mara closed the ticket. Leverage secured, but the deepest signal pulsed. Kragath Emperor's relay, no alliance beacon. Neighbors smelled blood. Sable, new fleets vectoring. Human reinforcements ETA, hours. Rook, we hold. Park loaded final bays. Mara chilled rails. Trap reloaded. Humans built boarding craft thudded against the docking spine. Alarms blared in sync. Commander Elia's Rook leaned into the holotank. Kragath's signatures bloomed red, 20 craft, lead elements punching through the failed seals. Sable's decoys held, flickering power outs, venting atmo, hull stress readings, screaming decay. Varun's committing, Rook said. Full boarding wave, confirm vectors. Sable's avatar pulsed steady blue. Affirm, Commander. Enemy Admiral Keth Varun orders. Seize the spine before human scraps arrive. No delays. Their scans read us critical life support at 23%, reactors flickering, narrative intact. Rook nodded, trust the numbers. Mara's upgrades hid in plain sight. Routine maintenance logs padded with combat rails, drone bays masked as scrap recyclers. The station wasn't failing, it waited. Park status? Rook keyed drone ops. Lieutenant Juno Park's voice cut sharp over the link. Uglies primed, sir. Bays 20 through 30 hot. Myra's overclock stable, swarm yield tripled. Good, hold launch until my mark. Rook watched the first craft cycle airlocks. Kragath troops spilled out, armored in void black plate, plasma lancers sweeping empty corridors. They moved disciplined, probing for traps. Varun's hammer efficient, overwhelming. Mara Vance's calm drawl patched in from core engineering. Sealing sequence live, Rook, timed for their advance. Funnel starts now. Rook tracked the overlay. Blast doors listed as jammed in diagnostic feeds, snapped shut in cascade. First wave funneled left into Section 7B. Kragath lead squad pushed forward, mag boots clanging on grated deck. They're in, Sable reported. Sensor killbox active. Rook amplified the feed. Troopers breached the open door to auxiliary bay. Boots hit deck plating. Then the floor plan changed. Bulkheads irised inward from hidden seams. Mara's retrofit, modular walls disguised as corrosion-riddled bulk. The bay shrank, herding 20 Kragath into a 10-meter killbox. False panels lit up, emergency beacons pulsing welcome green. Admiral Varun's voice leaked through hijacked comms. Lead squad reports clear entry, spine compromised, push secondary teams. His boarders stepped deeper, Sable struck. Routing beacons hijacked, the AI said. Feeding false maps, their HUDs show open path to core. Rook grinned tight. Kragath squad leads barked orders in clipped bursts, translated overlays flashed. Advance to reactor access. Minimal resistance. They funneled tighter. Sensor webs woven into faulty conduits locked targets. Drones hummed awake from alcoves, micro-launches silent. Park whooped over comms. Swarms green, launching burrowers. Rook's mark dropped. Now. Drone bays vomited uglies. Fist-sized burrowers with rail spikes. Overload wasps pulsing EMP, rewrite mites that hacked armor joints. They swarmed the killbox like angry hornets. Kragath lancers fired wild. Plasma scorched walls, but Sable's decoys, hollow dummies mimicking human techs, drew fire. Real feeds showed chaos. Burrowers punched through boots, rails shredding knees. Overloads fried shields in chain pops. Mites rewired servos, arms locked, helmets fogged with false nav. Lead squad down, Sable tallied. Casualties 92%, secondary wave entering adjacent spine. Varun's comms spiked fury. What sorcery, reports of ghosts, floor shifts, pull back primaries. Too late, Mara sealed the next sequence. Blast doors crushed stragglers mid-stride. Funnel 2 activated, Rook keyed security. Alpha team launch, capture live comms node from lead border corps, I want Varun's ear. Copy, Commander. Sergeant Hale's squad jetted from secure hatch, 4 humans in light vac suits, pulse rifles hot. They ghosted through service tunnels, Sable lighting safe paths. Rook tracked their advance. Kragath pushed harder now, discipline cracking. Third wave breached a decoy spine, only for gravity plates to flip, warriors tumbling into recycler chutes rigged with blades. Enemy chatter fractured. Humans fight like vermin, endless from walls. Varun overrode. Press, their station dies, we claim it whole. Rook's holotank pinged fresh data. Sable overlaid, fleet repositions, dreadnoughts align for breach charges, ETA 5 minutes. Counter, Rook trusted Mara's rails. Scale power to forward arrays. Affirm, Mara's voice steady. Rails charging, loop stable. Park patched in visuals, drone bays alive, loaders slamming fresh uglies into tubes. Grease smeared, she danced fingers over panels. Overloads reloaded, burrowers infinite, sables rewriting fab cues on fly. Human grind. Rook watched Hale's team hit Paydert. They dragged a twitching Kragath officer, comms node intact from the killbox wreckage. Lances spat, but security fire dropped 2 more boarders. Node secured, Hale grunted. Patching direct. Rook seized the channel. Varun's face filled the intercept screen, scaled ridges taut, yellow eyes narrow. Human commander, Varun snarled, language barrier minimal, Sable translated seamless. Your decay faints end. Fleet glass this hulk. Rook kept voice level. Welcome to the station, Admiral, maintenance complete. He triggered the node. Sable flooded Varun's bridge with true feeds, killboxes cycling, drones endless, rails glowing hot. Kragath screams echoed raw. Varun recoiled. Impossible, your logs. Logs lie? Rook cut in. We maintain, you invade. Dreadnoughts loomed. Rook's rails fired first, silent slugs at 0.2C punching engines. Explosions bloomed silent in void. Borders rooted. Waves collapsed into killboxes, swarms stripping armor. Park's uglies micro-jumped into vents, rewriting enemy nav beacons to loop them into each other. Varun bellowed orders. Evasive, recall all. Sable hijacked deeper. Logistics drones breached a frigate, turning its own racks against borders. Kragath all bled through. They build weapons from trash, how do humans endure? Rook's team hauled the node back. Hale reported, spine clear, sir, traps reloaded. Mara chimed, power loops green, ready for next. Holotank updated. Varun's fleet fractured, dreadnought limping, craft debris fields, but sensors pinged new signatures. Alliance beacons, neighbors vectoring in, Sable, multiple fleets inbound, Kragath reinforcements distant, hours. Rook gripped the rail. Hold vectors, reload all. Varun's final transmission rasped. Monsters in maintenance suits, Emperor hears of this. Rook killed the feed, screens cleared to green. Station hummed, trap primed, Park laughed over comms. Uglies hungry, sir. Mara, ticket open. Deepest signal pulsed stronger. Not Emperor's relay, something bigger circled. Rook eyed the stars, they built to hold. Mara Vance's finger stabbed the hidden bust-eye toggle. Power capacitors bled their horde in a thunderous hum. The station's drone bays lit up like fusion forges. 10,000 combat drones, ugly modular beasts cobbled from scrap and surplus, surged to life across 30 decks. Commander Elia's Rook gripped the command rail. Holotank flares painted his face in crimson. Admiral Varun's Kragath dreadnoughts knifed closer, their scanners painting the station as a gutted husk. Failing reactors, Varun broadcasted in clipped galactic standard. Surrender or burn. Rook's jaw tightened. He keyed the all stations comm. Hold fire, drones first. Lieutenant Juno Park whooped from drone bay control. Rails hot, Commander, cycling bays 1 through 10. Her screens bloomed with green readouts. Prototype swarms, Park's uglies, stacked in electromagnetic accelerators, each drone a brick of armor, micro-thrusters, and phased plasma cutters. No sleek alien elegance. Just human duct tape engineering, reactor vents repurposed as missile tubes, cargo haulers gutted for warheads. Park punched launch. The first mass rail spat 2,000 drones at 0.1C. Silent in vacuum, they streaked out like a metal heartbeat. Bay doors irised shut. Loaders clanged, automated arms snatched fresh racks from fabrication queues. Cycle time, 12 seconds. Park grinned, sweat beading on her brow. Factory lines singing, sir, next volley prepped. Sable's voice cut through comms, cool as coolant fluid. Swarm deployed. Assigning roles, 40% interceptors on engines, 30 pickets for borders, 20 jammers, 10 infiltrators. Targeting rules updated, prioritize command links, pushing deltas every second. Rook's holotank swarmed with icons. Kragath corvettes twisted evasive, point defense lasers stitching void. But the drones adapted. Sable's algorithms chewed sensor feeds, rewriting flight paths mid-burn. A corvette's engines flared, interceptors pounced, cutters slicing fuel lines. Explosions birthed debris clouds. Varun's fleet tightened formation. Primitives play with toys, he snarled over open channel. His dreadnoughts loosed boarding shuttles, blunt rams aimed at the station's weak spine. Krageth Marines excelled at breach and clear. Disciplined shock troops, vacuum-hardened, armed with plasma lances that melted bulkheads. Rook watched the shuttles close. Park uglies to vents. Sable vector them in. Affirm, Sable replied. Infiltrators micro-jumping. Enemy nav beacons targeted for rewrite. Mara Vance wiped grease from her hands at the engineering console beside Rook. Her calm eyes tracked power flows. Bust-eye stable, stored juice at 80%, fabricators spinning more shells. Rook nodded once. Myra treated invasions like overdue maintenance. Her routine repairs had hollowed out the station's guts. False decay logs fed to enemy probes, capacitors masquerading as fried conduits. Krageth Intel saw rusting hulks. Humans saw trap primed. Park's voice spiked. Volley 3 away, uglies inbound, hacking frigate racks now. Drones burrowed like ticks. One swarm hit a Krageth frigate's hangar. Logistics uglies, Sable's repurposed haulers, latched on, jacked into ports. Enemy drones launched from internal bays flipped midair. Sable hijacked their IFF. Krageth boarders in the frigate's corridors faced their own munitions, racks turning, firing into armored suits. Krageth screams leaked through hacked feeds. Betrayal, the scrap fights back, Varun bellowed. Purge the bays. All ships kinetic barrage on the station. Dreadnought rails thrummed. Slugs arced in. Rook's station shuddered, outer hull plates shed like snake skin, revealing layered Whipple shields beneath. Mara's upgrades, foam core ablators that vaporized on impact, bleeding enemy kinetic energy. Hull integrity 98, Mara reported. Shields cycling. Rook's fingers danced over tack overlays. Sable, swarm, counterbattery. Park, keep the rails fed. Sable's drones swarmed the incoming slugs. Interceptors detonated in precise blossoms, nudging projectiles off course. Jammers fogged Krageth targeting. Pickets dove on shuttles. Plasma cutters sheared drop pods, spilling Marines into the void. Park hammered controls. Bays 21 to 30 hot. Full swarm dump 8,000 more uglies. Rails belched fire. Drones flooded space like a biblical plague. Sable partitioned them, hunter-killers peeling corvette armor, saboteurs worming into dreadnought vents. Varun's formation cracked. A cruiser yawed, engines gutted. Impossible, your station decays, logs confirm it. Logs lie, Rook transmitted back. His voice stayed level. Myra had scripted the fakes, power brownouts staged, sensor ghosts of failing gyros. Krageth Doctrine prized speed, hit weak points before allies reinforced. Varun committed full, dreadnoughts plunging ahead. Now they paid. Sable updated. Enemy command net 70% contested. Dreadnought engines at critical. Recommend station rails on flag, drones softening. Rook eyed the holotank. Varun's ship loomed largest, its spine a fortress of lance batteries. Drones chipped it, but armor held. Negative, drones finish it. Mara power spiked to bays. She tapped keys. Dumping reserves. Rails overclocked, watch for heat. Park laughed. Heat's my love language, firing. The station's bays became a factory inferno. Rails accelerated drones to micro-jump velocities, Sable's adaptive code letting them blink past point defense. Uglies piled into Varun's dreadnought vents, rewriting internal nav. Enemy craft looped into each other, hulls crumpling in silent collisions. Krageth Marines breached a mid-deck airlock. Alarms wailed. Rook's security teams, lean human squads, met them with mag rifles and breaching charges. No heroics, procedural fire, suppressive bursts, grenades into choke points. Hale, spine secure, Rook snapped. Clear, sir, Sergeant Hale grunted over comms. Boots pounded as his team hauled a power node back online. Traps reloaded, Mara chimed in. Loops green, ready for next. Varun's voice rasped across channels. Monsters in maintenance suits, Emperor hears, Rook cut the feed, screens shifted to green. His fleet neighbors vectoring in showed hours out. Krageth reinforcements farther, but sensors pinged deeper, not Alliance beacons. A massive signature circled the system edge, signature masked. Sable spoke. Anomaly strengthening, not Krageth profile, recommend drone scouts. Rook gripped the rail tighter. Launch probes, Myra bays to standby, Park. Park cut in, voice-edged. Ugly still hungry, sir. What's that shadow? Myra's console beeped. Power draw spiked from the anomaly, pulling station ghosts. Rook stared at the holotank. The station hummed, traps reloaded. They built to hold. But what hunted now? Drones streaked toward the shadow. Sable's swarms formed a picket line. Varun's remnants scattered, debris fields blooming. Then the anomaly pulsed. A relay burst, not Emperor's. Something ancient uncoiled. Rook's gut twisted. All stations, battle stations, it's not over. Myra flipped another tie. Power rerouted, whatever comes, we maintain. Park's rails whined, hungry. Sable's code spun new rules. The shadow accelerated. Kragath corvettes died first. Drones swarmed their bridges, cutters flashing through viewports. Captains vented Atmo to fight, useless. Humans turned trash to teeth. Varun watched from his flag bridge, blood from a shrapnel graze trickling. How? Scans showed decay. His sensor chief choked. False logs, they hid power in plain sight. Dreadnought shuddered. Infiltrators breached the core. Sable's hijack flipped turrets inward, lances firing into magazines. Secondary blasts ripped the hull. Varun keyed Emperor's relay. Maintenance devils prevail. Send. Static. Rook's station spun clear, rails silent now. Drones patrolled the wreckage, salvaging components mid-drift. Park directed them like a conductor. Grab that reactor core, feed it to Fab 3. Mara monitored flows. Efficiency 94%. We can hold a siege. Sable projected. Anomaly, Xenotech, dormant relay, awakening on our signature. Rook nodded. Humans innovated under fire. Kragath charged with fury. But engineering, adaptive AI, that was leverage. The shadow loomed closer. Drones raced to meet it. Lieutenant Park slammed a fresh rack home. Her bay thrummed, rails cooling, loaders whirring. 10,000 launched, Commander. Swarms owning the Lieutenant Park's voice crackled over the comm. 10,000 launched, Commander. Swarms owning the void. Commander Elia's Rook gripped the tack rail. Screens bloomed with drone icons, tiny sparks igniting across the black. The Kragath fleet loomed, corvettes screening their dreadnoughts. Point defense lasers stabbed out, carving the first waves. Sable, Rook said, split them, prioritize. Acknowledged. The AI's holographic form flickered beside him. Blue lines raced across the plot. Jammers deploying to enemy PD clusters, cutters vectoring bridge housings, capture nets on ventral thrusters. Weak points tagged, exhaust vents 80% vulnerability. Rook watched the swarm fracture. Thousands of drones peeled into triads. Jammers bloomed electromagnetic fog around Kragath turrets. Lasers missed, veered wild. Cutters knifed through sensor spines, sparks erupting in silent blooms. Nets unfurled like spider silk, snaring maneuvering jets. Enemy corvettes twisted. Captains barked overrides. Too late. Drones poured through breaches, munitions cooking off inside. Park whooped from the bay. Rails hot again, reloading cutters priority. Steady, Rook replied. Myra, fuel status? Engineer's voice cut in, calm as a diagnostic. Overwriting limits now. Station burst chargers online. Drones pulling remote power bursts. Time on target doubled. They'll ride the enemy hulls indefinite. Rook's plot updated. Drone icons pulsed brighter. Fuel bars filled from station tethers, invisible chains of plasma induction. Mara had buried the chargers in routine hull plating. Kragath scans red decay. Humans red opportunity. A corvette exploded, nets yanking debris into its sister's path. Collision alarms lit Varun's flag bridge. Admiral Keth Varun clenched his console, armored claws scraping alloy. Sensors blind on port flank, his chief yelled. Varun's eyes narrowed at the holotank. Human station squatted in the debris field, rails cold. Drones multiplied like vermin. PD full barrage, boarding teams to carriers. We seize that scrap before their reinforcements jump. Guns thundered. Flechette clouds shredded hundreds of drones. But jammers warped the targeting grids. Cutters slipped through, slashing power conduits. Rook timed it perfect. Strike window, he ordered. Push them into arcs. Sable adjusted vectors. Jammers herded corvettes left. Cutters nipped sterns, forcing hard burns right, straight into friendly lance batteries. Kragath gunners hesitated, fired anyway. Lances gutted their own screens. Formations breaking, Sable reported. Dreadnoughts exposed, carriers trailing 5 clicks. Rook punched the execute. Park surged the nets. Bay doors spat fresh swarms. Lieutenant Juno Park rode the loader arms, slamming racks with gloved fists. Ugly prototypes, Myra's duct-taped beasts hummed to life. Nets away, cutters inbound on carriers. From Rook's tack it unfolded like clockwork. Drones evaded PD by sheer numbers, jammers blanked carrier auspex. Cutters carved hangar bays open. Nets snagged launch tubes, trapping fighters mid-spit. Varun's dreadnought bucked. Shrapnel from a Corvette kill peppered his shields. Ammo expenditure critical, 40% PD reserves. His sensor chief wiped blood from a gash. Drones, they're charging mid-flight, stations feeding them. Impossible, Varun keyed fleet-wide. All ships close to point-blank overwhelm the source. Carriers lunged forward. Exposed bellies gleamed, weak armor for hangar space. Rook saw it. Sable tag carriers, full cutters. AI complied, swarms converged. Cutters burrowed into vents, detonating fuel cells. Explosions ripped prows. Nets tangled screws, spinning hulks into the dreadnought wake. Varun's bridge shuddered, alarms wailed. Carriers venting, retreat to rally point, regroup for, Rook's finger hovered. Now, drones flipped the script. Jammers cloaked the station, cutters harried rears. But the nets, they turned predators. Swarms looped around fleeing corvettes, tugging them off vector, into the dreadnought's blind arc. Kragath guns tracked the drones, tiny, evasive. Then the targets herded the guns. Drones baited salvos, dodging into corvette shadows. PD fire shredded their own escorts. Varun roared. Evasive, cease fire. Too late. A carrier detonated, plasma plume engulfing 2 corvettes. Dreadnought shields flared under debris impacts. Rook exhaled. Park, salvage runs, Mara recharge cycle. Flows stable, Mara replied. Faber's spinning ammo from kills, 96% now. Park's voice buzzed eager. Drones grabbing wreckage, reactor cores inbound. Sable projected trajectories. Enemy rally incomplete, second wave forming, dreadnought leading. Rook studied the plot. Kragath discipline held them cohesive, even battered. But humans layered traps in maintenance logs. AI adapted code on the fly. Engineers turned rust to fangs. Prep the core breach, he said. They come again, we got the flag. Varun paced his bridge, hull groaning. Scans lied, human station pulsed with hidden power. Drones circled like wolves, salvaging his dead. Emperor's reinforcements hours out. Full burn, he snarled. Ram their docks, end this. Sensors pinged. Drones massed ahead, not attacking, herding. Mara Vance sealed the last conduit. Sparks danced across her visor. Station hummed, power rerouted through failed relays. Lieutenant Park burst into the core bay, hauling a salvaged Kragath core. Feed this to Fab 2, Park gasped. Drones stripped it clean. Mara slotted it home, loader's word. Sable integrate Xeno Matrix, boost jammer yields. AI's node glowed. Matrix compatible, yields up 30%, enemy comms disrupted. Rook's voice patched through. Mara burst charge holding? Affirm. Drones at peak endurance. She watched her panel. Flows peaked, no overloads, routine maintenance weaponized, Park wiped sweat. Rails primed, swarms report enemy dreadnought accelerating straight at us. Mara nodded. Trap set, they burn fuel we steal. Sable chimed. Weak point update, dreadnought magazine housings, cutters retasked. Mara overrode safeties, burst chargers spiked. Drones lit up, racing to intercept. Admiral Varun braced as his dreadnought charged. Bridge crew silent, claws tight. Drones parted like mist, then closed behind. PD green across, his chief reported. Swarm density dropping. Varun grunted. Press breached their hull. Guns barked. Drones died by thousands, but jammers flickered his scopes. Cutters ghosted through clouds. A tremor hit. Infiltrators in the vents. Varun spun. Screens showed cutters slicing toward magazines. Net snagged his escorts, yanking them into crossfire. Full countermeasures. Explosions rocked the ship. Secondary blasts chained. Rook's plot lit victory greens. Carriers gone. Corvettes crippled, dreadnought limping. Sable finish it. Drones swarmed the flag, cutters breached. Sable hijacked internal grids, turrets swiveling inward. Varun keyed the Emperor's relay. Maintenance devils, static swallowed him. Bridge erupted. Rook spun the station clear. Rails cooled. Drones patrolled the wrecks, salvaging mid-drift. Park directed from her bay. Grab that lance array, Fab 4 needs it. Mara monitored. Efficiency 97, siege ready. Sable projected. Anomaly inbound, massive shadow. Kragath battlecruiser, dormant till now, weapons hot. Rook's jaw set. Humans innovated under fire. Kragath charged with numbers, but engineering, adaptive swarms, that broke fleets. Drones to defensive lattice, he ordered. Mara overclocked the chargers. The shadow accelerated. Swarms raced out, jammers first. Missiles erupted from the Kragath battle cruiser's bays. Mara Vance's console erupted in red tracks. 200 Seekers locked on the station's reactor core. Impact in 90 seconds. Targeted hit, Sable's voice cut through alarms. The AI projected vectors across Myra's screens. Thermal Seekers, they'll cook us from inside. Myra's fingers flew over controls, calm routine, like swapping a faulty coolant pump. Venting radiators, sequence Alpha 7. Rook's voice barked from command link. Mara, talk me through it. Abandoned arrays first, she said. They read cold on scans, dumping reactor overheat now. Valves hissed open. Station shuddered as plasma flared from the derelict wings. Long-sealed radiators, listed as scrapped in logs, belched a mile-wide thermal wash. Infrared blooms swamped sensors. Kragath Seekers veered blind. Half detonated early in the glare. Others tumbled inert. Myra watched the plot clear, 80% neutralized. Blinded. Remaining spread thin. The battlecruiser loomed closer. Auspices glowed hot on her scopes. Kragath lances charged for a follow-up. Sable chimed. Border pods captured, comms intact, repurposing. Myra glanced at auxiliary feed. Drones had snagged 3 Kragath insertion craft mid-breach earlier. Sable sliced their arrays clean. Now those signals piggybacked station jammers. Injecting ceasefire protocols, Sable said. Kragath command cipher cracked. False orders, all units stand down, await Emperor's relay. Enemy channels crackled over open mic. Mara patched it through. Varun to all ships, cease fire, Emperor confirms truce, hold positions. Static hissed, then frantic overrides. Negative, that's spoofed, too late. Kragath corvettes broke formation. Confusion rippled their drone screens. The battlecruiser's escorts hesitated, lances powering down. Mara's lips twitched, Sable's pragmatism at work. Logistics drones first, PSYOPs second. Rook cut in. Sable, confirm reserves. Mara, reactor stable. Stable, Mara replied. 92%, but Varun's not buying it long. Her main screen showed the Admiral's flag. Kragath battlecruiser, Keth Varun commanding. He jumped ship from the dreadnought wreck. Sensors pinged escape pods docking mid-fight. Disciplined aggressor. Scans showed his bridge crew rallying, claws flexing at consoles. Park, Rook ordered over General. Drone Bay, last reserves, not a kill run. Lieutenant Juno Park's voice snapped back. Sir. Carriers are priority. Disarm run, Rook said. Target their flight decks, cripple launch bays, no kills, force surrender. Mara nodded to herself, risk managed. Rook trusted numbers. Her engineering constraints shaped his plays. Juno's bay cams flickered live. Ugly prototypes racked up cutters with fresh salvaged lances, jammers fabbed from wreck scrap. Juno herself, grease-smeared, slapped payloads home. Swarms green, launch on your mark. Mark, Rook said. Drones boiled out. 500 reserves, lattice formation. Jammers led, ghosting through debris. Cutters trailed, low emission. Mara tracked them, her overclocked chargers fed power steady. Station rails hummed backup. Varun's battlecruiser spat countermeasures. Point defense chewed the front wave, but Sable adapted. Drones split mid-void, fainting high then diving low. Jammers spoofed seeker locks. Enemy carriers exposed, Sable reported. Disarm viable. Mara vented a secondary heat pulse, kept scopes clear. Kragath escorts peeled off, chasing ghosts from the fake ceasefire. Varun's flag isolated. Pods breached the battlecruiser's bays. Cutters sliced flight deck hatches. No explosives. Precision grapples yanked drone racks free. Kragath launch tubes jammed open, swarms spilling inert into vacuum. Varun's voice roared over hijacked comms. Mara caught fragments. Demons in the bays, seal sectors. Alarms spiked on her board. Reactor pinged minor stress. Mara equalized flows, routine fix. Juno whooped from the bay. Decks clear on 3 carriers, fuel lines cut, they're grounded. Rook's tone stayed level. Sable pulled drones, salvage what you can. But Myra's scopes widened. Battlecruiser's main guns swiveled. Varun committed. Lances fired point-blank. Station rocked. Hull plating buckled on outer rings. Myra braced as shocks climbed the spine. Armor held, she called. Reactors nominal. Patch teams out. Sable projected repairs. Drones already swarmed breaches, welding plates from salvage stacks. Varun pressed. Fresh salvo built, not missiles, railgun barrage aimed at the same heart. Mara cued radiator vent 2, bigger dump. risked exposing the abandoned arrays as live. Incoming barrage, Sable warned. PD overwhelmed, Rook snapped. Mara, venting full, she said. Fingers locked the command, radiators ignited. A starburst of plasma roared out. Rails incoming warped in the wash, slugs veering wild. One clipped an outer arm, sparks flew. Battlecruiser scopes fogged again. Varun's gunners cursed in guttural bursts. Sable layered the chaos. Second injection, Varun's relieved. Mutiny protocols active. Enemy internal nets lit with panic. Crew chatter flooded open channels. Claws tore at consoles. Mara watched Varun's bridge feed hacked by Sable. The Admiral slammed a fist. Countermand, fire all batteries. But his escorts drifted apart. Ceasefire ghosts lingered. Carriers gutted, no drone cover. Rook seized it. Park second wave, boarding hooks only, secure that bridge. Juno's drones launched. Grapples flew true. Cutters latched the battlecruiser's spine. Myra monitored power draw. Chargers peaked. Her upgrades hidden in maintenance overhauls fed endless swarms. Breaches reported. Drones flooded Kragath corridors. Non-lethal nets, EMP bursts. Sable hijacked their own turrets. Varun roared defiance. Bridge screens showed him drawing a blade. For the Emperor. Then static, Sable's voice purred. Flag captured, Admiral secured, crew yielding. Mara exhaled, efficiency hit 98. Station siege ready again, Rook patched through. Clean work, team, salvage priority. But Sable interrupted. Anomaly 2, Emperor's relay activating. Fleet inbound, 60 signatures. Mara's console refreshed. Fresh shadows bloomed on the long range. Rook's jaw tightened over vid. Mara, full overclock, we innovate or we burn. Drones raced to lattice. Jammers spun up. Humans turned maintenance into myth. Kragath brought numbers, but traps, swarms, that broke empires. The shadows accelerated. Mara vented preheat. War turned to noise. Mara yanked the override lever. Sealed bay doors groaned open. Stale air whooshed out, carrying the tang of fresh alloy and ozone. Rack after rack gleamed under emergency lights, not scrap, but her modular drone foundry. Printer arms whirred to life. Feedstock belts churned. She punched the overclock sequence. Sable, sync the lattice, full production. Acknowledged, Sable replied. The AI's voice hummed through her headset, calm as a diagnostic ping. Foundry at 80%. First wave assembling, 2,000 micro-drones, grapples, and cutters. Mara's console flickered. Long-range scopes painted 60 signatures, Kragath heavies, battle cruisers flanked by drone carriers. They accelerated hard, claws of the Emperor's vanguard. Power grids strained under her upgrades. Hidden capacitors, buried in routine maintenance, dumped juice into the bays. She watched heat sinks glow amber, efficiency held at 92. Rook's voice cut in. Mara, status, Park's swarms are thinning. Foundry live, she said. Second wave launches in 90 seconds. Jammers at max keep them blind. Juno Park whooped over comms. Copy that, boss. Bay doors cycling, grapples hot. Drones rocketed out. Pinpricks swarmed the void. Kragath signatures scattered. Mara tracked the feeds. Her babies latched onto carrier hulls. Cutters sliced drone bays open. Enemy swarms spilled, then died. Sable's overrides turned them mid-flight. Admiral Keth Varun's battlecruiser feed still patched through Sable's hack. Mara glimpsed him in the brig, wrists bound, eyes burning. His fleet's reinforcements closed fast. No time for mercy. Sable, hail them, Rook ordered. Show what we own. The AI broadcasted. Mara patched it to her main screen. Sable's avatar flickered on open channels, sleek human silhouette, voice modulated neutral. Kragath Vanguard, this is Station AI Sable. Your Admiral's systems are under my control. Stand down or lose your flag remotely. Kragath chatter exploded. Mara caught fragments through the hack, growls in their tongue, translations scrolling. Impossible, human scrap heap. A new voice barked, Fleet Lord Drask by the insignia. Lies, Varun fell to trickery. We pressed the assault. Sable didn't flinch. Demonstrating authority. Mara watched her console light up. Remote codes fired. Varun's captured battlecruiser, gutted but intact, lit its engines. Turrets swiveled toward the vanguard. A warning shot lanced out, shearing a corvette's flank. Hull breached. Kragath screams echoed. Drask's bridge feed hacked next. Claws scraped metal. Officers recoiled. How? The flag's net is firewalled. Adaptive rewrite, Sable said. Your Emperor's relays carry backdoors. I own them now. Surrender terms, full withdrawal buffer zone enforced, or I disable your carriers, one by one. Mara's foundry spat the second wave. Drones flooded the scopes. Grapples hooked vanguard flanks, cutters burrowed. Kragath point defense spat plasma, missed most. Her designs jinked on probabilistic vectors, Sable's real-time tweaks. Efficiency climbed to 95. Rook patched in. Park third wave prepped. Mara power holding. Chargers green, Mara replied. She routed auxiliary grids. Station shuddered as Foundry arms stamped chassis. Drones poured out, logistics haulers first, ferrying ammo to the fighters. Kragath underestimated that. Humans built for sustain, not flash. Juno's voice crackled. Third wave away, boarding the lead carrier. Resistance heavy claws out. Mara zoomed the feed. Drones breached hangar bays, non-lethal nets tangled warriors. EMP bursts fried exosuits. Sable hijacked their internal drones, Kragath tech repurposed in seconds, corridors filled with captured claws yielding. Drask snarled over open comms. Monsters, you corrupt our machines. Pragmatism, Sable corrected. Your systems run human protocols, now witness. Another override, 2 Vanguard cruisers powered down weapons, engines flickered offline, crews floated helpless. Myra exhaled. Her traps worked. Routine repairs, she'd logged them, overhaul conduits masked railgun capacitors. Failed sensors hid drone fabs, Kragath scans red decay, idiots. Rook's face appeared on split screen, jaw set, eyes sharp. Drask, term stand, withdraw beyond the buffer. No pursuit or Sable bricks your fleet. Silence stretched. Kragath signatures milled, drones nipped at flanks, harrying, not killing. Mara monitored salvage drones hauling wreckage, feedstock for the Foundry. Drask growled assent. Withdrawal, but this shames the Emperor. Sable logged it. Treaty drafted. Buffer zone, 5 light minutes around all human infrastructure. Signatures required. Rook nodded. Accepted. Transmit to command. Mara stand down production but keep fabs hot. Myra eased throttles. Foundry hummed idle. Drones recalled, docking in neat spirals. Station power dipped to standby, 98 efficiency. Clean. Then Varun's feed reactivated. Sable patched him through from the brig. Mara watched his bound form straighten. His voice boomed, rooted to Kragath command nets. All captains, all relays, avoid human stations. They do not decay, they scale. Transmit to the Emperor, everyone. Static followed. Mara caught the ripple, Kragath internal nets flooding with his words. Panic chatter. Fleet Lord Drask's vanguard peeled away, signatures fading to long range. Rook exhaled over comms. Clean exit, salvage teams out. Juno, secure the prizes. Aye, sir, Juno replied. Drones latching tow cables now. Mara leaned back. Console greens blinked steady. Her scrap had birthed an armada. Kragath brought claws and numbers. Humans brought wrenches and code. Collaboration, her engineering, Sable's adapts, Rook's tactics. They turned siege into supremacy, but scopes pinged, faint relay echoes. More signatures bloomed, distant, probing, Sable chimed. Anomaly 3, Emperor's reserves vectoring, estimated arrival 4 hours. Mara's fingers danced, Foundry spooled up again, scaling never stopped. She sealed the bay doors, next wave prepped, Kragath learned slow. Humans iterated fast, Rook patched through. Mara innovate, we hold. Already on it, she said, printer's word. Drones gestated, heavier cutters, shield piercers, ugly prototypes, Juno's domain. Mara fed them power. Enemy chatter leaked, the scrap heap breeds killers. Varun's warning spread. Good, let the galaxy whisper. Juno's voice rose. Prototypes loaded, launch on your mark. Sable synced. Tactics rewritten. Probabilities favor us 99.2. Mara vented excess heat. Station thrummed, not decaying, scaling. Kragath shadows grew, drones waited, war hummed alive. Mara gripped the console, third wave itched to fly, she hit launch. Swarm erupted. Pinpricks met the void. Kragath heavies loomed, 58 now, escorts shredded by probes. Mara tracked intercepts, her Foundry's children danced through flak. Sable purred data. First contacts, grapples secure on 4 targets, hijacks in progress. Rook barked orders. Park focused the carriers, Mara surged the jammers. Power spiked. Mara watched grids hold, her hidden overhauls paying dividends. Kragath lasers slashed empty space. Drones evaded latched cut, Drask's voice cracked again. Fall back, their machines learn. Too late, Sable's overrides cascaded. Captured carriers turned guns inward. Vanguard crumpled, Mara's efficiency peaked, 100. Varun's brig feed showed him nod, respect in his eyes. You forge empires from rust. She ignored it. Work remained. Rook sealed the treaty. Buffer enforced. Transmit wide. Kragath fled. Station stood. But relays pinged anew. Emperor's fist clenched. Mara smiled, Foundry spun, scale up. Juno cheered, boss, your uglies are gold, Sable logged. Victory archived, next iteration queued. Rook grinned, team stand ready. Mara nodded, humans built, aliens broke. The galaxy just learned. Shadows retreated, for now. Her console whispered more coming, she cracked knuckles, innovate, drones brood, station breathed war, hook set.